In a world where there are too many comic books to keep up with, one podcast has the stones to bring you all of your comic book needs. Week by week, book by book. One epic show. You are now tuned in to Nerd Church Radio.
Hello and welcome to Nerd Church Radio DC Mass. I'm your host, Ben Dupé.
I'm Bradley Butin.
And I'm Travis Roseberry.
And we are your DC comic book overlords. How's everyone doing this week?
Great. How about you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Just power nap, you know. Just
You're working those late nights and all weekends,
early mornings.
yeah. Whew, man.
Anybody do anything fun this week?
Yeah, I mowed my lawn this morning. Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
Oh, you know, I almost did too. I talked myself out of him. Like, okay, I can wait one more week. I looked at all the big branches. I'm like, let's see here. I can talk the girls into doing that, doing all cleaning out the yard and.
Yeah, I'm a renter, so I don't have to worry about that. So, yeah.
So I was totally surprised when I saw your text message, Brad, about the trailer coming out for
Star Wars
Last Jedi. Yeah,
yeah,
that was awesome. I wasn't expecting that because I wasn't following any of the feeds or anything, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome.
Man,
yeah, and
it was good.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in just a second with news. Before we do, if you're new to Nerd Church Radio in general, we are a DC Comics recap and review podcast. So we talk about on this show the bi-weekly titles that come out of DC Comics. I think we cover all the more important stuff, the broad strokes. I don't know, just stuff that you need to know that's happening in the DC Comics that week. So we are also a certain type of podcast. Brad, what kind of podcast are we?
We are a really good Stephanie Brown podcast.
Yes, Stephanie Brown podcast. Stephanie Brown is spoiler, so we are a spoiler podcast. Yeah,
I see what you did there.
Never gets old. Yeah. All right. So,
sir, how does it feel to be be 30 now?
About the same, man. I'm feeling kind of old.
You don't look out the window and yell at the squirrels?
Yeah, I do. Well, I did that when I was 20.
Right.
Doctors diagnosed it. I forget what they called it. I don't know. So, yeah.
Grumpatitis?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's my wife diagnosed that too. So, yeah, so here at NCR, we are a spoiler podcast, so we are going to be spoiling all of the DC comics that came out that week. It's, just plot beats, character developments, pretty much anything that happened. We put the timestamps for all the books we cover in the show notes for this, so down in the description, you'll see the timestamp. If we start to talk about something that you haven't read yet and you don't want spoiled, just skip over that segment, come back to it after you've read it. And we do write written reviews on our website at nerdchurchradio.com. Soon to be a new website to house all of our written reviews, but that information is forthcoming. So that being said, why don't we jump into some news? So first and foremost, at the top of everyone's mind, I think, is the Star Wars trailer.
Which comes out in 243 days. You're welcome.
Yeah. So I watched the live stream. They did at Star Wars Celebration, they did a live stream. For about an hour, I woke up, and I just happened to wake up right when it started. It was awesome, but they introduced a new character to us. Little Asian girl. She's a new Rebel fighter. If you just Google, if you Google new Star Wars Rebel, it'll be on there. But she looks pretty cool, man. Yeah. I mean, she's a Rebel. Not much else to be known about her. She looked like a pretty vibrant actress.
Dude, my brain has been exploding ever since I watched the trailer 6 times on launch. And my brain has been exploding. What does that mean? What does that mean? The end of the Jedi? What does that mean?
Yeah, because there's little things in it. Yoda's voices in the trailer. Yep. Obi-Wan's voices in the trailer. What else? Leia's voices in the trailer, which was, I think that was kind of maybe just a homage to Carrie Fisher passing, which, by the way, did you guys see that Carrie Fisher tribute video they posted?
It was great, man.
Really?
Really good, yeah.
Little 2-minute video they posted, I think, about Carrie Fisher, but it was a really nice tribute.
The Billy Lord, when she was doing some of her lines, which is her daughter.
Yeah.
And her daughter's currently starring in Scream Queens, and then she's done a couple other little things, too.
Oh, cool.
But, But yeah, and that was actually really good too.
Yep. So, not to be overshadowed by the Star Wars trailer, but another trailer dropped this week, the trailer for Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Or as I like to call it, Guardians of the Galaxy 1.5.
DC.
True.
Yeah. I mean, because like they did, and I love that they did. They took a lot of notes from Guardians. You can tell in the set design and the wackiness of everything, and like I don't know, I love it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
I wasn't quite sure because I don't follow Marvel that close and I don't follow Thor at all.
Yeah, I never have. Yeah.
My coworker is a huge Thor fan.
Really?
And he has this very strict rule of never watching trailers before the movie comes out because he doesn't want them ruined because all the good parts normally are in the trailer.
Yep.
So I was like, I can respect that,
right?
But that would drive me nuts.
I don't know how somebody could do it.
I've incorporated a 2-trailer rule for movies. I will typically... forthcoming, my wife's looking at me like I'm crazy because she doesn't know about this. But
2 trailers, but you watch them for 24 hours straight,
right?
Pick them apart.
Well, normally in the past, like I looked up the Han Solo dying thing before I saw Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I've spoiled things in the past. Trying out this new thing where I just watch the first 2 trailers. I don't watch any of the TV spots after that or anything, and I'm just trying it out because I wanna get a better, fresher outlook on these movies. And I think as a public, they just spoil a little too much, especially like Doomsday and Batman v Superman. I thought, man, why did they spoil that? But little bit of news on the DC movie front. There has been an action figure release that shows us Ares in Wonder Woman, and it looks a lot like the Injustice Gods Among Us Ares, the big hulking black figure with the mask on.
Cool.
I think we're going to get a big CGI character. They have not spoiled that in the trailers, and I'm very happy that they haven't spoiled that in the trailers, so that's coming soon.
When's the release date for that movie, by the way?
Early June, I believe.
Okay.
Good. So speaking of Wonder Woman, Liam Sharp and Greg Rucka are leaving Wonder Woman.
I know, so
I heard that.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's really too bad. We talked about this on the other show. They're replacing them with another writer. And it's a female writer, which I love that, for a Wonder Woman book. Although I'm of the belief that it shouldn't really care if you're a guy or a girl. I think the story should be good.
Right.
But the writer has zero experience with, she's written the DC superhero girls kids comics, and that's it.
And that book is very, very, very animated. I mean, it looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, it's a kid's book.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So are you nervous that you're going to miss the mature storylines?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of it's like
gotta give her a swing. I mean, she can't do worse than the Justice League,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm sorry. I should have said that. I'm sorry.
No, you're not wrong though.
Well, I know when you told me that, when I got home, was it 2 nights ago or whatever it was, I went and grabbed my girls DC superhero girls comic books, and I was going through them a little bit. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you gotta hope she's gonna bring something a little more mature to it. It's kind of like going to like an AC/DC concert and then having the Teletubbies follow them up. It's like, oh man, really? I don't know about that, but I guess we'll see. So, in other news, we have Watchmen getting an R-rated animated film, which I'm very excited for.
Let me stop you there. I saw you and Ariel's comments on Facebook about that. Why are you guys so excited about an R-rated category? Or you want something that is as dark as Watchmen to be reflected?
Well, I think I want I want the spirit of the comic book to be reflected properly, and that would not be possible without giving it an R rating. I mean, the spirit of that book is like a gritty, realistic superheroes who are just like kind of assholes, and just jerks,
Well,
So
the one thing about Watchmen that I didn't care for in the movie, which there was a lot of neat stuff that they did in that comic, was there was that unfortunate thing with, is it Silk Spectre's mom and
getting
comedian?
raped?
Yeah. I am not cool with that. I don't really need to see that. So I was a little worried it might be something like that in there too, and that's why they got the R rating.
Yeah,
but hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's just violence, that cause violence in language that cause that rating to.
I go back and forth on that issue because anytime you get rapey in a movie, like I just finished watching 13 Reasons Why on Netflix, which is a Netflix series about a teenage girl who kills herself, and she leaves behind 7 cassette tapes, 2 sides each. One side is like each one person who caused her death. And it's like all leading up to this one moment where she kills herself. And like one of the guys is listening to these tapes, and each episode is a side of the tape telling a story of like this girl and why she killed herself. But yeah, there's some of that aspect in it too. And I think it's a plot device that's very powerful. It strikes a lot of emotion in people and makes people feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I also it is something that really happens in our world, and it's something that I go back and forth on, like it being used as entertainment value. I think I think that's kind of a cheap shot sometimes.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
use some-
Yeah.
But in this day and age, with where, I mean, in my opinion, where our adolescents are, you know what? I'll take that cheap shot to teach them a lesson, as long as they pick up on the lesson.
Yeah, as long as as long as there's a valuable lesson, as long as there's positivity coming out of it. I don't know, and that's Alan Moore too. I mean, is like that.
Alan
You know,
Moore's
he
very dark,
wrote The Killing Joke, and he writes very dark, realistic, gritty stuff. So, but I am excited because I read Watchmen. I didn't like it because it's just too heavy of a read for me. I like the live action movie.
Yeah.
I think if I really studied the Watchmen comic, I would like it a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't want to have to study a comic book. I want
Sure.
Have you guys seen American Gods on Stars?
I have not.
Have you? Is it good? I haven't watched
I haven't
it.
watched it. I've seen that
Oh.
they're releasing it, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I really want to see. It looks really good. It's done by Neil Gaiman.
Yep.
Yeah, I did Sandman.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Man,
Travis's
he's good.
favorite comic book. Yeah.
Ever.
Travis is not into the dark,
Just,
dark,
couldn't
dark
do that.
arts.
Yeah.
Maybe I guess. Yeah. So, all right. A couple other solicits from DC that I got in my email. Batman Volume 2. I Am Suicide is on local comic book store shelves starting Wednesday, April 12th, and will be available in bookstores everywhere on Tuesday, April 18th. So if you're a trade waiter, definitely buy that because it's a great story arc by Tom King. Great Batman story. Definitely worth your time if you're a trade waiter. And on the opposite side of that spectrum, All-Star Batman Volume 1, My Own Worst Enemy Rebirth, and is going to be available on Wednesday, April 19th, and in bookstores on Tuesday, April 25th. I personally wouldn't recommend that one, but hey, if you're into Scott Snyder and you want a weird Batman story, go ahead and check it out. Superman Action Comics Volume 2, Welcome to the Planet Rebirth, is also available on Wednesday, April 19th in comic book stores and Tuesday, April 25th in bookstores. And then last thing, in Trinity number 8 in the solicit, we are shown a picture of Superman wrestling with himself.
What?
Yeah, that's all we get. Superman is wrestling with himself. I have no idea what is going on there. I kind of forget where we left off in Trinity, like what was going on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been. I haven't read the last couple.
Well,
Yeah, I have. We got that Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
Yeah, Cersei and
okay.
Lex Luthor team up, where the three of them teamed up, but then we went back to the
that was a
Trinity.
one-off, right?
Yeah, that was a one-off that they're going to be addressing in an annual, I think.
Because we got to the end of the Trinity thing with Mongol, his
Yep.
daughter, and Ivy,
And that kind of fizzled
ended
for me.
Yeah, and then this one you were talking about with Lex and whoever the other two were. That was a one-off, and then there hasn't been anything since.
I
right?
want to say there was one other one, but I'm just not sure.
Okay.
I think
Because isn't Lex trying to be a good guy now?
Yeah, but
he is,
we
but
still don't know.
We're kind of
yeah.
seeing him show his true colors in New Superman lately.
Yep.
He's been in there, and he's kind of been
has he?
acting
Okay.
up in the
Yeah.
Chinese Superman. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I don't have much love for that one. I just
Yeah.
can't get into it.
yeah, it's in New Superman.
Yeah. New
Oh
Superman.
yeah, I like it. I need to catch up on it, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get down to business and talk about this week's books. So I'll kick things off here with Batman Detective Comics number 954. I forget the creative team on this. I know James Tynion is the writer, right?
And Takara.
Takara is the author or the artist. Batman Detective Comics.
Takara and Maiolo.
Yeah.
Takara and Maiolo. Okay, cool. All right, so stop me if you've heard this one.
Stop. No, I don't know.
If you've read this book, you have. A demon's head and a detective walk into a cave. All right, that's it. I don't have a punchline for it. But Batman and Ra's al Ghul are in the Bat Cave, and Batman is beating the living hell out of Ra's to figure out where Lady Shiva has taken Batman's team. Through some trickery, Raj manages to convince Batman that he is working against Lady Shiva. So Bats lets his guard down, only to find out that Raj has been working with Lady Shiva the whole time. Raj uses a nerve agent to put Batman out, and then Lady Shiva kidnaps Batman and makes off with him. So while this is happening, Colonel Kane and his men are broken out of the Belfry by Ulysses, which is that short little jerk little kid who he's like a hacker, kind of like Tim Drake type character, but a bad Tim Drake, and the rest of Kane's team. They decide that there's no saving Gotham from Lady Shiva and her people, but they can make sure that Shiva's people die along with the rest of Gotham City. So who do they send to clean up Shiva and her ninjas? The only person that could, Orphan. And that's it. Also, I'm like 99% sure that Ulysses stole Tim Drake's Robin
Right,
costume.
I was gonna
Yeah.
Which I'm excited to see how that pans out. I hope it's something. So I'm assuming both of you read this.
I did.
What'd you guys think?
I liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
And correct me if I remember from the last one, because I think I rated it. Orphan is... Yeah, it's Orphan, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Orphan is the daughter of Shiva.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And she's the one who's like, she's actually more dangerous than Batman. I mean, she is literally like a living weapon. Mm-hmm. I mean, when she looks at someone, you see in the comics, like she sees all the pressure points on that person,
Right.
different ways she could kill him.
Okay, does anybody know why she calls herself Orphan as her code name or superhero name or whatever?
There was something in the New 52 with Orphan.
Okay.
Yeah, the Orphan Black, I believe.
She was completely mute at one point, and I think she was actually kind of like adopted or something by
By Shiva?
No, the
Orphan Black. I don't know.
That's a TV show on BBC.
the lady,
America.
lady, the lady that took in Tim Drake at the mental hospital.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
Well,
that's
it was
okay.
a really good show, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, Orphan. There is some backstory there in the New 52 with Orphan.
Okay.
If you want to read up on her, she basically it's summed up though. She's a living weapon. I love the fact that there's a little bit of like a gray area in some of the characters here.
Yeah.
Like Colonel Kane was the bad guy in Detective Comics a while back. Now he's kind of the one coming to save Batman, and that's how the world is. People aren't all good and all bad. I mean, people have bad qualities and good qualities and different ulterior motives to do things or different motivations, and sometimes those align with each other, sometimes they're working against each other. Point in case, Colonel Kane with Batman. I mean, it's just how life works.
It's all about what drives you.
Yeah, it's good. I like just not having the straight up villain, you know.
Right.
He's kind of like, he's a patriot. He's just, sometimes that means that he's doing good things, sometimes it means he's not. So, totally excited to see Orphan kicking ninja ass in the next issue though. She's awesome. She's like that last panel with her standing around a bunch of dead bodies with like a shuriken sticking out of her shoulder. That was pretty sweet. Overall story is pretty great. It's definitely something that you probably should have been reading since the start of Rebirth to fully get. I don't think it's one you could just jump into. The art on this book is freaking amazing. I love it. I love the art on every Batman book that's out right now. We do have a rating system here at MCR, so I'll play that so you know what we're talking about.
If a comic book is bad, we rate it as blasphemy. If the book is good, we give our blessing. If the book is not bad, not good, but just kind of meh, we rate it as stuck in purgatory. If the book is great, we rate it as holy. And if a comic book exceeds all standards of awesomeness, we rate that book as salvation.
All right, so what would you guys rate this book?
Blessing. It's solid for me. So
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with Blessing.
Okay, I say holy. I think it was great. That's just me. I think like it would be easy to give this one a blessing. I think maybe I'm being a little generous on that. But Batman is one of my favorite characters.
well, whatever trips your trigger and gets you going. I mean, the art's really good in it. It's really dark, which is really cool. But I think if I were to go out and buy the actual graphic novel of it, that would be a solid holy novel. And I know we're only story 2 of this arc. So
well, that's the thing is it's so hard to say because this has stuff that's been literally going on since the start of Rebirth. So we're really like, I mean, it's issue 954, but we're really around issue 20-ish of this story arc right now. So,
Well, none of this story, because this story is where Shiva comes in, and it started anew.
Yeah, but I mean, even like Colonel Kane getting locked up in the
Yeah.
Belfry, you really have to have been reading since the beginning. So that's why I say it's like, yeah, technically that did start a new story, but like, I mean, there's stuff like with Tim Drake dying, or quote dying, you know, I mean, there's stuff from all the way back at the beginning.
Yeah, you know, but we just saw Batman fight with Bane and, you know, and do almost the exact same thing last week.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and that's a different title.
That's what, and I know that, but I mean, that's kind of why I don't give it a holy, because we just saw that kind of plot
true.
device. So.
Yeah, and Tom King's Batman's definitely better.
You're looking for fresh. You're not looking for... Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I got
And
you.
I want a new villain. I want a new villain, a new, good, lasting villain that's going to join into the DC.
Yeah, I go back and forth on that because like Brian Hitch has given us loads of new villains that I hate. So I mean, like I want a good.
The answer's in the question there.
Give me a Court of Owls type villain. You know that I mean, which that's hard to come by. You know, it's hard to think. I mean, that was a very creative, like, you know, the natural predator of a bat is an owl. Like that was a really cool parallel that Scott Snyder.
Well,
drew,
and I mean the same thing with Superman. I want a new, really good Superman villain, not Justice League. Superman.
Yeah, well, Superman's killing it right now, man.
Superman
Straight
is, man.
up. All right.
So same with Action Comics. I can't wait to hear the review on that one.
Yeah, well, why don't we talk about Action Comics?
Why don't we?
Yeah.
Action Comics. Actually, it's kind of short this week because it's
It
the
was
front
a little
cover.
short.
Tell me this. Just in the front cover alone, the art makes him look older. Action Comics
let me pull it up.
I can see
977.
that.
He looks like an older Superman.
Yeah.
I'll look at it. Who's the creative team on it while I'm looking it up?
I'm looking that up right now. I'm sorry.
You're trying to get me to hold it up.
Jurgens, Churchill, and Hi-Fi.
He does
Thanks,
look
you got
older.
me.
Yeah,
no,
sorry about that.
No, but I like the art. There's a great, fantastic look in the front.
Right.
I kind of looked at it and went, are we going to have another reboot episode? And yes, we did. But hey, awesome. So Action Comics 977, The New World. We get a classic Kent at the planet finishing his report just under the wire. Our Superman we know is back and we can rest easy, or can we? Clark feels unsettled, so he decides to take a little trip up north to the Fortress of Solitude to find answers. He still doesn't feel quite right with what's going on after the aftermath of Reborn. So he heads up north to his home away from home. Meanwhile, a possible villain arises in the shape of what I'm going to call the Matrix and frees Metallo and Blank. It's Blank, right?
Did you take the red pill or the blue pill, Superman?
He took them both. No, giving them info and enhancing their natural abilities to improve their abilities to fight before they go up against Superman again. So at first, I was looking at this guy and I'm going, "Is this Oz? You know, or is this a new villain?"
Right.
I totally dug the way that they drew Metallo. I like Metallo as a villain.
Yeah.
He's right up there with me for Brainiac. I mean, that same kind of vibe.
I agree.
But I like Metallo a lot, and I like the way that they drew him. I did not care for the new 52 Metallo, where it was John Corbin, and he still had a head that kind of floated in the middle of a robot. But it was weird. But anyways, I really liked that art. I really liked the idea of this mysterious guy going around kind of being a benefactor of evil.
Yeah, he's building some super bad guy team.
And I was trying, I know, super dork here. I took my phone out and I was zooming in with the camera on the layout of who this villain is, trying to see. If you look at the Matrix style outline, little tiny letters are highlighted. And I was like, maybe there's a clue within the little, you know.
I would not
I would put it past these guys. Yeah,
I would not put it past them.
But I couldn't figure it out. So good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in on that with Photoshop and just zoom in on some
Go
stuff
for
and
it,
see
man.
if I can figure it out.
If you or any of the listeners can figure it out, email, text, tweet, whatever you
Nerd
got.
Church Radio everywhere. Yeah.
Pigeongram.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so back to our comic. We see Kal-El back at the Fortress of Solitude, where Kal-Ex displays holographic records of Kal-El's life on Krypton and on Earth. The cohesiveness ties the new 52 with the pre-52 Superman and together in a nice little bow. I really love the way that they did this. if you don't like Superman, it's easy to hate on. I don't want to see another reboot or another restart of Superman. But we always get, as me being a Superman fan, we always get once a year a story that re-shows or retells the origins on Krypton and things like that. And it changes. In the 90s, Kal-El's parents were of the impression, I think they call it xenophobia, Krypton. So they never left Krypton. They always stayed on Krypton. They never touched each other. They wore all black suits with these like ornate designs down the side, and that actually displayed their genetic template, basically.
Oh, wow.
And then they didn't mate. They just got together, and then they created a baby in the Matrix, the birthing Matrix.
Right.
It was
What's
just
with
a
the
very
Matrix
sterile.
this week?
Yeah, right. I watched it all.
Yeah.
So that was the 90s, and then we got into 2000s where it was a little bit more, sci-fi, futuristic, less sterile planet kind of thing. Mm-hmm. This one, if you look at that splash page, they did a beautiful job of bringing all of those storylines together and intermingling them, creating kind of a neat little background. Yeah. So good job, guys. Way to go.
That one thing since you're talking about like things that are kind of hidden in the issue or whatever,
go for it.
When Clark is working at his computer, there's Post-its up on the wall.
Yeah.
One of them says Carlin called again. That was like an editor, I think, from back in the day that used to throw all this crazy stuff in the books or whatever.
Really? Sweet.
Yeah,
cool.
I think that was, yeah. I'll Google that while you're talking. Sorry.
Okay, so but he still feels a little uneasy when he hears a voice somewhere, and we don't see it. It's just a little tiny word bubble. It looks like scribbles, and he spins around and he goes, Kal-X, report. What was that? What was that voice? And Kal-X reports that, hey, there's nobody here but us. I don't understand what you mean, Kal-El. And inside one of the sunstone crystals is a silhouette of a person, and we end the comic. So somebody's peering in and looking at Superman and following him. Somebody's peering in and eavesdropping on the world's most powerful man.
So yeah, I think it's that same villain who was building up like the super team.
Exactly. Yep.
So back to. I just wanted to let you know what that Carlin called in thing.
Yeah.
So that would be longtime Superman artist Kurt Swan, who along with inker Murphy Anderson set the standard for Superman's design for years, and Mike Carlin, the longtime Superman group editor who worked with Jurgens on the title in the 90s. You can also see something interesting here, a photo at the right of Perry, Jimmy, Lois, Clark, and another Daily Planet staffer, apparently at the time of Jonathan Kent's birth. That's interesting because he was born in a hospital around Friends, because when his birth was depicted in Convergence, he was born in Flashpoint Batcave with only Lois, Clark, and Flashpoint Batman around.
Yeah.
So there's actually like an article on comicbook.com. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in this.
Yeah, that first, I read through all the little Post-it notes on the wall too, but I didn't pay much attention to that one. But that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So I give this one, I'm reserving. I'm pulling back a little bit. I'm giving it a blessing.
Okay.
Because I want to see what happens. I think this may be a new villain, kind of like what you were wanting, Ben.
Yeah.
And Brad.
Or Brad.
Sorry, I'm looking right at Brad. And Ben's in my
Oh, dude, I do that on the other show all the time.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
But no, I think it's going to be a new villain. I thought at first it was Mr. Oz or whatever, but I'm thinking that we're getting a new digital kind of evil villain type guy, because the Sunstone is like a living crystal computer, and everything that I'm looking at, he seems to be able to infiltrate technology kind of thing. So maybe we get something and he's going to call himself like the InfoWeb or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
The Superweb.
The Superweb. Yeah.
We jump to Watchmen characters all the time with this stuff, but I'm thinking it's not going to be. I don't think they want to get. I think we're going to get those type of answers in the button. I think this is going to be a very contained Superman thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, on this one, I gave it an 8 out of 10 on the site when I reviewed it. So I think yeah.
So you're going to go Holy then?
I think Holy. Yeah,
I'm going to Holy on it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I don't know, the only detractor for me was like the Krypton origin story, because just like, man, we've heard that story so many. It's just like Batman's parents being killed. But then when I hear you talk about how we get a different version of it kind of every so often, like that. I kind of like it, and plus all the Easter eggs and stuff.
There's just all the little Easter eggs. It ties it together for new fans and old fans. I'm going to defend it. I like it a lot.
So do I.
I always like to see what artists and writers do with the history and mythos of the character and how they tie things together. And it's a perfect time, actually, to do another one of these, because we had the mind-bending reality of Mr. Mixoplex mashing everything up, and now we have to get some kind of stable foundation again, and we're getting that.
Yeah.
So, or at least I feel like we're getting it.
I think so.
Oh yeah, I do too.
To the artist and the people who color the book, way to go. I loved it.
Killer
It wasn't
art,
dark. It wasn't super bright, but I love the way Superman was drawn. I don't know who did the cover art, but you tell me if I'm wrong, but the cover art seemed a little different than what was in the actual book.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and I liked both, but
I-
they were different,
Sure.
I don't know how. I'm not an artist, so I just look
Right.
at it and go,
Cover was done by Andy Hubert and Brad Anderson.
I love Superman stories like this.
yes.
and
I mean, they're good. They're feel good. I mean, it's human nature. I like it, and I like the reboot, the soft reboot,
Yeah.
because it brings something more fresh to the new people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't take the origin the way that it was back in the 30s
Yep.
or the 40s and make it today.
Yep.
So
One thing on the cover, and then we got to move things along here. So on the cover, by Andy Kubert, presents a tableau of Superman's history, including that iconic Neil Adams cover in Superman 233, the opening salvo of the controversial Kryptonite Nevermore storyline. It's perhaps worth noting that shortly after the death of the New 52 Superman, comicbook.com speculated that Kryptonite Nevermore could provide some insight as to the nature of his death and possibly even the nature of his very being. Also on the cover, Lois and Clark's wedding from Superman the Wedding album, and the birth of Jonathan Kent from Convergence Superman #2, indicating the following: whatever changes are made to the character and or his backstory in Superman Reborn, he will still experience those events. So yeah, there's actually, if you guys, listeners or anyone, go to Google and type in all the Easter eggs in Action Comics number 977. Comicbook.com did a really cool article on that. So
Sweet.
Sorry for running off
No, you're
a
good.
lot of quotes there. So yeah, moving things on here, Brad. Why don't you talk about the Flash?
all right, the Flash, Iris West, Agent of Black Hole, written by Josh Williamson, art by Neil Gouge. Iris West is investigating the missing bodies of Godspeed's victims. The trail leads to the Speed Force training facility that has been vacant. There she meets Dr. Husk, beats up a guard, and kind of does her own little undercover work. She finds out that they are running experiments on all the bodies. Flash shows up, but Iris West ends up saving the day after he gets a equivalent of a Dr. Husk says a bear trap to him. These weird little metal things that kind of click on his leg. The final splash page is the reveal of Mina Dewan taking the name of Dr. Dewan, and she is like this weird black flash of black hole type thing. They didn't show her with anything, but she looks pretty badass.
Cool.
That was the book. I mean, it was as fast as the Flash really is. So
Nice.
it was a quick read. I think it was fairly good. However, I feel that it might have been missing something, or it could have been something better. So I actually kind of think that this book didn't happen, or the real book, but then Barry went back to the past, and then this is what happened. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't read this book, so I didn't really.
Yeah.
I've had a kind of a hard time with the Flash lately.
I've had a falling out myself.
Yeah.
And I like Flash a lot.
Normally, Brad and Josh, you guys kind of take this one, so
Yeah.
I'll jump back in and start reading it again.
I mean, they need to do something. I mean, Flash is pretty big right now, and I feel like they need to do something, which they are with Batman and the Button.
yeah, which I just looked, and it looks like they didn't give us the first issue of the Button in the review copies.
Oh. And I will say it was pretty cool that Iris was the hero in this, not the Flash. I like that. Now, there was a lot of foreshadowing. I mean, by like 3-4 pages in, you're like, okay, they're bringing back Mina Duan. I mean, it was obvious. There is no question at all. I thought they could have done a little bit better of a job of that, of maybe even building it up in the last couple issues. I mean, instead, Iris, asking like Barry, hey, let's talk about your ex-girlfriend who's dead, But
awkward.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I rate it as a blessing.
Cool.
It's a Flash story, so they introduced this, and then and on the same page, the Dr. Dwan in a really cool looking black Flash outfit.
Mm-hmm. I did like that. That looked really cool.
And I think she'll make a really good villain for Barry. But then they're like, okay, and then we're going to start the Button. So it's like, okay, we'll pick this up later.
So how's that going to go forward with the Button and Batman and Flash? So will they both have two storylines running at the same time, or are they just going to stop producing and do one?
I imagine it's going to be a lot like when Night of the Monster Men happened, and it was kind of like happening in Detective Comics and Nightwing and Batman, I believe.
Gotcha.
So it was, all three of them. So
cool.
So we got Black Hole now, and we've got or Flashy Black Hole or whatever she is, and then we've got Eobard Thawne is now free. So we got two major villains popping up for old Barry Allen.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know a lot about Black Hole.
I don't either.
I know nothing about it. So.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I meant to go look up some information about him, but I didn't. So
yeah.
I was entertaining a 7 and a 4-year-old most.
Yeah,
so
that'll happen. Yeah,
priorities.
I know, right?
All right, cool. Yeah, and that's to be continued in Batman number 21. The Button.
And before I forget, I went to Communion and it was awesome.
Yeah, which is the new weekly show that Ariel, Noah, and I are doing is Communion.
And my favorite books of the week were on Communion.
Nice, very cool. Us too, I think. We had some really good books on that show.
Man, Red Hood and the Outlaws was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, and actually, I was just
and Supergirl.
I was freaking out because Batman number 21 was not in our review Kyle folder. And I just checked the email from DC, and they said
the day before
they're like looking for Batman number 21. It's buttoned up until early next week.
Nice,
Ooh, nice play on words, DC.
I see what you did there.
Well played, sir. All right. So all that being said, what do we got next? Well, why don't we take a break? Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
We'll be right back.
Cool.
And we're back.
Great rendition of the chicken dance.
Yeah, that's what I do, chicken dance. All right, so before we get back to this week's books, we're going to play a quick game of Would You Rather. This isn't really a game, this is more just fun talk. Would you rather be an unrecognizable superhero or a famous supervillain? So would you rather be like
hero?
Really? An
Yeah.
unrecognizable superhero?
Yeah, I don't want to spend time in jail. So
Yeah.
I mean,
But if you're a famous supervillain, you don't have to spend time in jail.
or Arkham. I mean,
Yeah,
I just and
I
then
don't
you have.
know. I'm going to go villain.
Face like this in jail,
Yeah, I know. You're a pretty boy. It just wouldn't work out well for you. Yeah.
Quit looking at me like that.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather wear a cape that is way too long or wear a skin-tight suit that is too tight?
Ooh.
Cape that's too long.
Yeah, I'm going to go with cape.
I have too much of a dad bod to really do the the skin tight
yeah.
stuff.
I think, cape that's
cape.
too long. I'd rather go with inconvenience than
Yeah.
than
Right.
showing off
Yeah.
every inch and curve of my girlish figure. So, if you could, would you rather have Wally West powers or Nightwing's skill?
Nightwing skill.
Wally West powers or Nightwing's skill?
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
gonna go
which Wally?
Well, they're both
redhead?
super fast.
Yeah, but
Super speed.
okay.
Would
Yeah.
you rather have super speed or Nightwing's skill set? I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
say
speed.
super speed. Yeah,
I'm gonna stick with
because you can time travel and mess everyone's life up and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
Barry Allen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right. Would you rather travel back in time to change something in your past or be able to know one important event from your future?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
If you go back in the past, you alter the
Right.
future.
Yeah.
So that would.
But knowing the future can really mess with your head, I
Yeah,
feel like,
see?
too. So that's,
I'd be
that's
like
a
constantly
problem.
looking over my
Right.
shoulder.
Yeah.
But
no,
once you
right?
know the future, then it would ultimately change the course.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know it was going to happen, so you can make a logical choice to avoid it.
But if you do your own flashpoint type thing, then you
Yeah.
know how things were.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like little things, and that could just drive you nuts too.
Yeah.
I'm going in past.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
say past
I would
as well.
say too. I think past too.
Yeah. All
I'd
right.
flashpoint it.
Would you? I put this one. Ariel made this for us, but I put one in. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Horse-sized duck.
Horse-sized duck. man.
Obviously, that's
Yeah.
the obvious answer.
I mean-
100 duck-sized horses would overtake you.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that'd be like near impossible. With one horse-sized
get some
duck,
bread.
at least I have a chance. You know?
That'd be a really weird sounding stampede, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Quack quack.
Yeah.
No, I did have like a weird dream one morning, like right before I woke up. I was a superhero that could fly only 2 feet off the ground. It was so
Oh, really?
weird. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to.
That's awesome. What would you rather spend a night in the Batcave or spend a night in the Fortress of Solitude?
Solitude.
Solitude.
Oh, Batcave all the way, man.
I like to be cold. So.
all the weird stuff in the Batcave, man. I just explore. He has like displays of all his weird stuff.
I
and-
feel. There's one in the Fortress of Solitude of all the different planets and crap.
yeah, that's true.
But I
I
also
know.
feel like hospitality might be a little, or the rules might be a little bit less lax at the Fortress than the Batcave. I mean, Batman be like, don't touch that.
Yeah.
Man, I want Alfred to make me a PB&J. You know, just
Yeah, but you could have
just get the real
Cal-X
rough.
make it, and he wouldn't give you that snarky.
Yeah, well, okay. So, would you rather be rich with no powers or poor with superpowers? I'm going to say poor
Poor
with
superpowers.
superpowers. You could be rich if you have superpowers. So.
Yeah.
And that I'm going to
Yeah,
have my
Ben,
cake and eat
I
it
could just
too.
see that Ben who like, I just saved your life. Now pay me my money.
Right.
I'm gonna be a
Part of
hero.
his suit is the debit
credit
card
cards, yeah.
swiper.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Swipe
Swipe it.
Yeah,
His
like,
iPhone
Tips
square.
are accepted.
Yeah.
How much do you tip for saving my life?
Yeah.
15, 20%
Yeah, that's
of your annual salary.
15-20% of what you feel your life is worth. So
Can you
Right.
please
Yeah.
put me back down before I pay you?
Right?
Yeah.
No.
So, would you rather take on the Punisher or Batman?
I feel like I'd probably live with Batman.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Batman.
I'm dead with Punisher.
Yeah,
Batman.
Punisher doesn't play.
Yeah.
you know?
No,
Like,
he just
Batman's
shoots.
not going to kill you. So I'm going to say, Batman as
Yeah.
well. And last one, would you rather be a part of the Green Lantern Corps, Suicide Squad, or JLA?
Green
Core.
Lantern Corps.
Core, all the way, Core.
Thumbs
What kind
up,
of
knuckle
question
bump,
is
boom.
that? The Core,
Thumbs
all
up,
the
knuckle
way.
bump, boom.
Yeah, come on. I mean, like, that's no question there. All right, so we're going to move things on to our next book. I got Titans number 10 with story by Dan Abnett and art by Brett Booth. Awesome art by Brett Booth.
Yeah,
Holy
this
crap.
book was
so
awesome.
good. Wally West and Nightwing had been captured by the Fearsome Five and are about to have their powers stripped away, but the rest of the Titans show up to save the day. Too bad the Fearsome Five is so, fearsome. The Titans get their
kinda in the name, right?
The Titans get their superpowered butts handed to them, and just as all hope is lost, Bumblebee shows up to save them. She totally beats the crap out of the Fearsome Five, making the Titans look kind of wimpy, if you ask me. But at the end of the battle, Simon decides to take her memory of her husband and child from her. The battle is won, but Bumblebee can't remember her honey or baby bee. Oh no. That sucks. So for her, but so the art all day is the best part
good.
of
Right.
this book. I mean, Brett Booth
Yeah.
he's so talented, man.
What else has he done?
I really want to look it up and find
Okay.
out because
He did a long run on the Flash.
Oh,
Did he really?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Wow.
In New
Oh.
52, he did a very long
Okay.
run in it.
He's so good at drawing like the Speed Force too.
Yeah.
It wasn't in this issue, but he has drawn some really cool Wally West stuff. So.
Because he did Bumblebee. Like that's probably the best Bumblebee I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, he.
I don't really care for Bumblebee, and this is.
Yeah.
I picked this issue up just on chance, and I was like, "Oh, I like
My
this.
kids
This is cool."
love Bumblebee.
The figure drawing, just the way he draws anatomy and stuff is just
Yeah.
on point, man. Like, it always looks really good.
So artist of the week, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Artist of the year for me, man. He's
Nice.
awesome. He's one of my favorites. The story's good. Definitely not the deepest story I've ever read. You know, definitely like more of just a fun superhero team up, young superheroes. If you're looking for a light, fun superhero team up story that's got some nostalgia maybe mixed in with the old school Teen Titans, this is the book for you. Overall, I'm okay with it. I give it a holy. What would you guys rate it?
Agreed.
Yeah, holy.
I want to see a Titans and Teen Titans crossover.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be fun. I would love to see that. And one bit of news, I guess it's really not a big thing, but Benjamin Percy posted a picture of Green Arrow being lassoed by Wonder Woman, and that's coming soon.
July.
Yeah, so we're gonna see Wonder Woman and Green Arrow. I'm so excited.
It was just crazy that just like a week ago we were talking about how Green Arrow needs to be, integrated a little bit more and do.
Yep.
And then we're like, oh, Birds of Prey. Okay.
That would be cool.
I know. And we
like,
called it.
Yeah, the next issue, Green Arrow showed up in Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. So that
and then when I saw
week.
Nightwing in that too, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go sit down for a little while.
Yeah, it was awesome. So
I just love the art. I can't get over it, man. Even on the cover, is the big bad guy? Is his name Mammoth? Is that
Mammoth.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. I just
looks
love. Did
so
you see
cool.
all the little arrows from Red Arrow in his skin?
Yeah.
I just loved it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, totally. Actually, one thing that's worth noting on that is the variant cover. Did you guys see the variant?
Did
Nah.
not.
Here, I'll show it to you. I'm turning my computer around so they can see it.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Okay. I like it.
That's just such a good variant cover.
I do, but I actually like the regular better.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Oh
do.
man, not me.
That is very homage to X-Men, I think. I feel
which
anyway.
I like. I mean, I love the X-Men though, or I love what the X-Men used to be.
yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, I don't care for them anymore, but that's just because
that's
they've
one
changed
group
so much.
that just needs to reboot and start all over
Yeah, well, Marvel. Yeah, I think I heard
without alternate versions of the originals in original time doing a
yeah, but then you're gonna piss people off, it's gonna be like there's a ton of people who are gonna be like, well, I've been reading that story, and you're just gonna. It's kind of like when the New 52 happened. A lot of people were really angry that they just totally canceled all their books and restarted. But in the end, I think it was for the better to do that. So, all right, cool. Well, let's keep things moving here and talk about the JLA, Brad.
This will be really quick, guys.
Okay.
Alrighty. Justice League of America #4, written by Steve Orlando, art by Ivan Reis. Is it Reis or Reis?
Ivan Rice.
Rice. Okay. So the JLA fought the extremists in the entire issue and finally won.
Yep.
No.
That was
Nice.
That was the book, guys. It was action packed. There was a lot of fighting. The art was pretty good.
Did you catch the Wolverine lookalike in there? It was the guy Lobo is fighting. He's fighting someone with a skeleton that is coated in an unbreakable metal called Amazonium.
Yeah.
I think
Just
they
a little bit different.
They should have called it Schmantium.
Yeah.
But, that was cool though, because they also had like the Magneto lookalike
Right.
too. So this book has been full. Yeah, they're laying it on.
Yeah. Not a lot happened. I still thought it was a good book. As far as we did get to see Batman use Liberty Bell's shield, which that was pretty cool. Which is again like Captain America's shield.
Where did we see the Liberty Shield? I
It
feel
was in like the first issue or something. Yeah,
I thought we saw it in
drops
Justice League Suicide Squad as well.
that could have been.
I think it showed just a little panel of it, and everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know what that is," but
So,
okay.
I guess if we're showing Liberty, I'm guessing that they're going to bring Jesse Quick in. Because Liberty Bell is Jesse's mom. But
There was that whole interaction between the Ray and who's the Ray's counterpart?
the dude with the sun face.
Dreamslayer.
Dreamslayer.
Who I wrote this up in my review because I wrote a review for this on the site, but he is battling with being able to control himself and what he's become.
Yeah.
How can he exist in a world where he's a living weapon, that sort of thing. And then Dreamslayer kind of determines that he can't control life. Maybe he can save it and disappears. So super cryptic,
Oh,
and then
cool.
just goes away.
So I didn't read this one, but there's a panel almost towards the end, and there's a guy holding Liberty Bell's shield, and he's in all blue, and it's
Oh, the Blue Jay?
Yep. And
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and at the end, so that's another thing that happened in this issue.
Yeah.
So that's actually showing in the other world that Lord Havoc previously destroyed. That guy had the Liberty Shield, and Lord Havoc was about to kill him, or Dreamslayer was about to kill him. He shrunk down to the microverse and he saw like what you're seeing there, which is like a world of explosions, and he's like, there shouldn't be anything here. But in the atom is lost in the microverse right now too, so I think we're going to see that pick back up in the atom.
Well, actually, I actually looked up some information about the Blue Jay.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So his real name is J. Abrams and is listed from being from New Earth.
Wait. His name is J. Abrams.
J.
You sure it's not
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams
know.
because all these explosions around?
See some lens flare in there too.
He's actually part of the Champions of Angar, which is the other planet that Ben was just talking about. And is part of an extraterrestrial superhero team. And from what I read, it only said that he could fly and he can shrink to the size of about a blue jay. Okay. Hence the name. They didn't say anything about he could shrink down any further than that, so that must be retconned. So,
yeah.
But he was actually created by DC right after Ant-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
cool.
was DC's Ant-Man, and I don't know if
Answer to
Adam
Ant-Man.
came first or what, but I always thought that it was those two, but apparently Blue Jay, I don't know if he ever really got caught on because there wasn't a lot of info on him.
Yeah, he's a small Otherworlds character, so
Right.
there's a lot of
But he
those
looks
in
pretty
DC.
cool.
Yeah, and
So-
I think we'll see him show up in the Atom, and there may
Right.
be some overarching Rebirth ties, but I'm
Right.
going to go ahead and say it's probably not going to be anything too huge.
So, guys, tell me this: what's the deal with the Liberty Bell shield? Is there something fantastic about
don't-
it? I don't.
Yeah, there's something going on with it because it has popped up. I thought it was in DC Universe Rebirth #1, but I went back and, man, that book's getting a beating because I'm always going back to my shelf and checking it for reference.
Sure.
But no, it wasn't in that. I think we saw it in Justice League Suicide Squad at some point, but I'll have to go back in the archives
Is it
and
supposed
check.
to be super powerful or something? Or
I don't know.
do
I
some
don't
kind
know.
of cool
Yeah,
thing?
I don't even know how it got here with the rest of the Justice League.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't know how that happened.
I mean, maybe they're kind of bringing in a potential more members to the JLA, like maybe Blue Jay will end up being there or something.
Yeah,
Ooh.
maybe. It's certainly
I mean,
possible.
and you know what? Bringing up the microverse is kind of cool. I want to
Yeah.
see. I want to
Yeah.
see like some, what all is going on there. So
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to learn about that.
right.
So yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it a blessing.
Yeah,
I-
I do too. What
I mean,
did I give this
if,
one?
If and if you're out there and you just want to, there's not a lot of words to it. If you just want to watch a bunch of superheroes kicking the crap out of bad guys and vice versa, pick up the book.
I wrote in my review that it's kind of a nice, it's a nice alternative to
Yeah.
the Justice League.
Oh yeah,
Like, if you want a Justice League book, but you aren't satisfied by Brian Hitch's book, then this is probably a good place for you to go, which I don't
like
think. I think very few people are satisfied by Brian Hitch's book. Although, man, yeah, if you look him up online, there are people out there giving it 9 out of 10, so I don't know.
yeah.
Different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah,
That's
I guess. And that book actually is still top of the sales numbers, too, so...
Wow,
Man,
because people are
it-
waiting for it to get better, so they
Dude,
keep on
like,
picking it up.
It sucks, man. Until people stop buying it, like they don't
not
care.
a true
They don't care what I
representative,
say on this podcast about it. They don't. I mean, they might listen to what I say about it, or the podcasters
Right.
or reviewers are saying, but money speaks above all else.
Right.
And until that book stops selling so well, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's like my sister taught me when I was younger. Money talks, and you know what walks.
Yeah. That's how it goes,
Yeah.
especially with comics. I mean,
And
it's
then she
a
hit me.
business. And then she-
Ben knows my sister. So
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. All right, cool. So why don't we move things on to our final book of the week, Travis?
Okay, Scooby Apocalypse number 12. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
I was
It's
like,
Hal
actually,
Jordan and the
did I-
The
GLC.
Apocalypse is pretty darn cool.
Did I mess up
was
the
good.
email?
I had been sweating there for a minute.
I was actually hoping for that review.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
I was
all
like,
right,
man,
shit,
Rumble
I'll go-
Raggy.
I'll go with it, man.
Rubbish.
Okay, so Hal Jordan in the GLC number 18. So we open with Space Ape and Goran's son, which was kind of cool. I like Space Ape. He's the Yellow Lantern, and Goran's son is our Green Lantern. They're teamed up, and they're going out to a remote floating boulder, basically, to investigate a temporal anomaly. They report back to HQ that a false reading was reported, and they start to head back, but just as they're ready to head back, this hive of demon/green diamond-looking things comes crawling out of a hole and attacks them, and then that's it. That's the end of the story. It's kind of weird. It looks like it might have something to do with... Remind me to come back at the end of this because I have a theory. But
okay.
Our story switches over. We're back on planet Mogo, which is now the center of the universe, which is the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Group. Tensions are running high between the greens and the yellows. John Stewart has given the approval for a yellow power battery to be built next to the green power battery. Can't foresee any problems there, can we? No,
not at
Let
all.
the two merge.
Yes. Tension. What do you get when you mix green and yellow?
I keep thinking
Just a yellowish green.
Just a yellow
that's
lime.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so tensions escalate.
The avocado core.
Oh, no. They're going to make a guacamole.
I fear you, guacamole.
So the tensions escalate and a fight breaks out between them. Believe it or not, the only two who can break up this core rumble is our very own Guy Gardner and Acrylo. Who would have thought that our calm, demeanored friend Guy Gardner was going to stop a fight?
Right?
Yeah.
But everybody makes nice, and the two corps help build the Yellow Lantern together. Very nice. It was a pretty cool fight, though. I did.
It was
like
cool.
Ganthet and Ced send Saint Walker off on his own journey to recruit and establish the Blue Lantern Corps. I don't get it. It was a little blip, and they moved right on. So we have another possible storyline that's going to happen. We end our book with Salak checking in on our two missing Space Ape and Goran Sun lanterns. When an anomaly pops up, and Rip Hunter pops out and appears with a warning that the GLC has been erased from the future. He passes out as soon as he possibly can, but Hal, John, and Salak see that Rip Hunter's wearing a Green Lantern ring on his hand. End of story. Now, I'm going to go back to the very beginning when they were talking, or when Bath... man, I can't speak today. I'm sorry, everybody. When Soren...
Saronic?
No,
Space Ape?
Space Ape and his partner, Goran's son,
Yeah.
are going into this cave on this boulder. At the end of the book, Salak actually tells Hal Jordan that he's got to go find them. And he pulls up on his little Green Lantern map quest thing that he's looking at this planet, and he's like, I recognize this. And he just mentions it for a second. And what I'm thinking, because if you go back to the very beginning, when they recognize this anomaly, it's kind of like in the shape of a Green Lantern symbol, but it looks like veins on the outside of a cave. Yeah. I'm thinking that's the cave where Hal Jordan created his own ring when it started. Because it was on a boulder in the middle of nowhere, and he forges his own ring, and nobody besides the Guardians are supposed to be able to do that. So I'm wondering if he released something, you know?
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it. I had, this is another one I have not. You know, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. I read like probably I trade weight on that one.
Sure.
I read like 6 issues at a time.
Right on.
Because it's good.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like I like to get.
But you have to have that whole story
Yeah.
for it
Yeah.
to be really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I rate this one a blessing.
Okay.
It was
Cool.
good, but it wasn't fantastic.
Yeah,
So.
but with, I mean, I know Rip, they probably brought Rip Hunter in because of Legends of Tomorrow, you know, I mean, whatnot, which I liked. I like his look.
Yeah.
I like where they're going for the future.
Yep.
But I agree. I don't.
I don't know where they're going to go with that storyline
Right.
because I'm kind of, to be honest with you, I'm kind of over the whole the core's gone. Oh no, kind of
me
story.
too.
We've had it over and over again. Great, fantastic, but at the same time, it's like I just want something new.
Man,
hey, Jeff Johns, can you pull from the
pull
from the old archive and bring up some new plot line?
I think that they are.
No,
I think that this is the start. I think that there's gonna by the end. I think there will be a battery core of all the Lantern cores. I mean, because they got the green, they got the yellow. They're working with blue. Mm-hmm. I mean, or at least a few of them, a few more, and maybe. I mean, the core be at the center of the universe. I mean,
Cool.
Rainbow
Awesome.
Planet. Woo!
All right, cool. Well, good week for comics, though. I'm gonna say I don't know. What was y'all's book of the week?
Action Comics.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I am just looking through them right
close
now.
second. Titans?
Action, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Titans was mine. Yeah, I thought Titans.
I don't know.
Action Comics was good. I thought Titans was a little stronger this week.
I like the reminiscence of the Action Comics.
True.
The
Going back and looking at the origin and stuff.
So I mean, but I mean, Titans is so close that I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So either Titans or Action Comics.
Cool.
So next week on NCR, we have 2 shows now: Weekly Communion and DC Mass. So on both, I'll just say all the comics we're going to cover on both of the shows. All-Star Batman number 7, Batwoman number 2, Deathstroke number 17, which I'm actually strangely excited for, Green Arrow number 21, Green Lanterns number 21, Justice League number 19, Nightwing number 19, Super Sons number 3, Superman number 21, Superwoman number 9, and Trinity number 8. Oh, and then Batman number 21, which I'm assuming we'll get at some point, and if not, I'll just go buy it because it's going to be awesome. I think guys be on the lookout for those lenticular covers. I think they are dropping next week.
Cool.
So add them to your pull file if you need to. Yeah. But I'm doing it because likely will sell out pretty quickly on Wednesday. So
Sweet.
Yep. Awesome. Do you guys have anything else for the listeners today?
Make a great week, people.
That's right.
All right.
Be good or be good at it.
Yep.
There you go.
I will say peace be with you.
And also with you.
Peace out, planet Earth.
Go forth and read comics.
When now's your second chance.